We're back. We're back. Johnny,
Johnny.
are you awake?
What's up?
All right.
He's too chill.
He's always true. Okay.
During the break, we were talking about some of the collaborations you were doing. Chad Shabazz is someone that you collaborated with. That's somebody like when I was in high school, he was teaching me how to do street dancing. He used to bring me to Slaughterhouse where they would teach us dance and also like the hip hop like background, know your history. Don't just do the dance. Don't just do the moves. Can you tell me about your collaborations with him?
Yeah, absolutely. We only have one song with him so far, but that's a real homie for us. We met him over there at the Bridge Cypher in Cambridge when we went and spit at the Lynch skate park.
Ooh.
Yeah, we went over. We did some
nice.
freestyles and shit like that, and then we fucking did a little video part and shit. I met Chad that night. I was like, "Yo, you're a beast. Let's fucking get some shit." And then a couple of years later, we ended up doing some shit.
Hell yeah.
As it always goes. But yeah, no, he honestly, he's a beast, and he has fucking great bars and shit. He's like he's an absolute real one. He really cares about the community as far as like bringing people up who just want to be cultivators, people who want to grow.
So now, speaking of growth, do you feel like artists have to get out of Boston to become bigger? Because sometimes with Boston artists, sometimes you can
Not in this day and age.
Hell no.
you can, so you think
Pinehurst.
No.
no. What I'm saying is, do you think like in order to make it in Boston, sometimes you have to leave Boston, or do you think there's a market here to be
Hell
successful?
no. Hell no. You gotta build. That's the thing. Like everybody wants it. Like yo, you gotta move out here and do this and do that. It's not the same as it used to be in the '90s. You have the internet.
Yeah.
You just have to be willing to invest in the place you live.
So internet's cool and stuff like that, but when it's time for you to tour and actually people know you face to face and network, so the
You
internet.
ever see Boston sports? Just wondering. Have you?
What is this?
Boston sports, like the most
Boston
religious.
sports, yes.
The
I
most
had some wine
religious,
people,
the
sorry.
most religious without anyone. That's why everybody hates us. We're so religious
Boston
in our
sport.
beliefs with our sports. Like we're the most
What is most
we're
successful?
the most
Hell yeah.
privileged as
Sorry,
far as like
everybody
we have the
else.
Patriots, we have the Red Sox, we have the Celtics, we have the
Patriots,
Bruins.
the Bruins, yeah.
It's like
And they didn't
we
have
have
to
the
get out of
most
here.
important
no,
franchises
but
of
you
all
know what I'm
time.
saying? But that's sports. I'm talking
No,
about
but that's the
in
thing. Like
music.
that's what you could build here.
Okay, so I'll put it to you like this.
Like last time I
Name,
checked,
like,
like
one-
everyone knows where Joyner Lucas is from.
Okay. So that was my
true.
next question.
Yeah.
Like, what hip hop artists do you know right now that like has a massive following?
Well,
Besi-
him
I
and
know
Millie's.
Mac Miller. Mac
Millie's.
Miller.
Cousin Stiz.
Cousin
Cousin
Stiz.
Stiz.
Millie's is
Uh-huh.
from here.
but the thing is-
Justin Clancy, he's from like the Massachusetts area. Like these guys like put on where they're from. The thing is that it's not cool till it's cool.
Right.
That's the problem.
So
and
now-
like you gotta build here. You gotta build a culture. You can't just go somewhere else and manufacture it. Like, because then you're a part
like
of
the
that.
mindset.
Like, when
Yeah.
do we start to identify where we're from?
Yeah.
So now,
And
what do
take
you?
pride in it.
So now, what do you think the Boston hip hop sound is?
The Boston hip hop sound is still unidentified, to be honest. And like the thing is, like we're like, but that's art. Like you have to borrow to create, and like that's where we are right now. And the thing is, like with hip hop, especially like to start anyway, you have to pay respects to what came from it, and you have to adapt and make something new, because that's what the exciting factor is. If you constantly try to sound like something that it's not, and you're trying to sound like New York, you're trying to sound like Los Angeles, you're trying to sound like all these other places, you're just going to be identified with that.
Yeah.
But a
and-
lot of these guys don't know how to come up with their own sound, and that's why we get lost, because we're trying to chase a trend. Until we have a real pioneer here who's trying to make the sound for this city, that's when we're going to succeed.
All right,
Yeah.
Johnny's in his bag, second round.
I'd say
Okay,
like
here we
the I would say the biggest like group / like hip hop artists who are from around here that are really making waves right now, as as far as like what we really do and making a different kind of sound, I would say it's probably Van Buren. But the thing is, right, like Van Buren's fire, and Joyner Lucas, I mean he has skills and shit. And Token, he has skills. Like they're not totally like my kind of music. They're dope as fuck. Obviously, like they have a big fan base, but none of them really rep Boston like that. Like Like,
well, he's not from Boston. He's from like Worcester.
yeah. Jordan Luke is from Worcester, and Toka's from Salem, and
We just need
Van
to be
Buren's from
represented in
Brockton.
Massachusetts.
The thing
That's
is,
the thing,
I
because like that,
think
like once we start saying like Boston and all that, there's like kind of
yeah, we ain't
there's
from
like
Boston,
this like
exactly. Yeah.
there's like some
We're from
aesthetic.
Mass.
There's like some aesthetic that needs to come from it. But here's the thing, like there's a lot of suburbs in America, and like Massachusetts like could be considered one huge suburb. Not that it is, but you could consider it that.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what like guys like J. Cole, I feel like why they're so successful is that you could relate to both sides of the plane.
Tale of Two Cities.
The tale of two cities,
talk
for
about
sure.
Fayetteville.
You could talk about like the city, and you could talk about the small towns, and that's what J. Cole represents, and that's why he's so important in today's hip hop. Because he could really relate to both sides, and like the biracial thing. Not that it's a big thing, but it is a thing.
Logic.
Yeah, it
You know,
is.
we're not talking about logic.
You
You
guys
know,
had
come
an
on,
episode
relax.
about that
We
on
did.
your
But
show.
like,
Yeah.
here's
Check
the
that
thing.
out. Want to rewind? Look ahead.
Hell yeah.
But here's the thing, right? Like, it is an important thing to also realize that there is a gap that needs to be bridged,
That is true.
and and like, it's very important to like try to create a community where everything is kind of accepted in a sense of like what's whack and what's not whack.
Yes.
And like right now, there's a lot of whack shit that's
Lot
being
of whack.
accepted, and like people don't know what to do here because there isn't really anything to report back to. Like it's all like we're all winging it, and a lot of these guys are trying to do the technical shit that like is cool, but no one's doing that shit that really makes you feel something.
Yeah,
And
that's
that's
facts.
like the hard like truth about it.
I think the
And no
thing
one
that
and no one around this area will talk about it because they don't want to diss it, but it's the
I'm
truth.
about to talk about it.
But there's
okay.
there's nothing
I'm
that
about to
moves,
fucking
like what music
do it.
what music right now in this area is really moving you.
That's
Like
facts.
what is what is the impact like, and that's why for me it always
Well-
goes back to my favorite artist.
But you know what? I have to say, there was a rap. What? Oh my God, Boston fame. Oh
We're
my
not
goodness.
talking about Marky Mark and the Funky Bunch.
No,
Yeah.
Boston fame. No,
Not
there
doing
was
it
there was
today.
like we were talking about
Not-
like little, like rap crews. There was a crew. They're from Roxbury, and one of the
The Mighty
artists.
USO?
No, that's RSO. That's they
RSO,
were
sorry.
now, and No, he's from here. He's from Roxbury, Boston fame. He just had this song Tom Brady out like maybe 3 years ago. But anyways, I'm really feeling like their music was dope. I don't know if they're still making music, but they were throwing parties maybe like 4 or 5 years ago, throwing parties, and they were working with like AZ.
I mean, I'm
and-
sure like it was dope, but like we don't even know their name.
Yeah,
Like,
I'm
that's
like,
like
what
the
you
thing.
look
Like
up- can you
we
look,
need,
Boston-
we have
can
to
you
look it
up
up. Don't
Boston
even look
Fame
it up
for me
because
and
we
let me
don't.
know
We don't.
what's
Need,
the
we
name
have
of
to look it up.
The crew that he was in.
But like,
It was a group. It was a group of them.
I'm not trying to be disrespectful, but I'm trying to say like we need to have an identity here.
Yeah.
And like, but that all comes from impact. Like you don't know until it crashed. Like you know what I'm saying? Like that's like the most important artists of all time, or the most like impactful, and we don't have that yet.
The thing
That's
about
the fucking like the real problem right now is like we don't have like a person who's gonna spearhead it or like lead it.
the thing about this scene right now that I think the disconnect comes from, or at least like the reason that there's no like Boston sound or whatever, is because there's plenty of artists that do beautiful things and make like amazing music, but it seems like there's like levels to this shit where it's like if you're unknown, you can only get certain opportunities that happen to do with like open mics or like
Right.
opportunities where it's like, oh, one person that happens to be a friends with a promoter,
You
then
pretty
maybe
much
you
need
can get
like
on.
a viral moment.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but
And here's the thing though, like that is like a non-existent thing here. Like you need a sound and you need to have an idea.
there's not going to be a sound unless people actually collaborate, and
That's true.
and people ain't
Trying to really
really finna
Everybody's
collaborate.
doing
Like,
it.
wait, because you just did a collaboration. I think. Well, I know Chad Shabazz is from Cambridge. He's not actually from Boston. That's Greater Boston. But also, was it Takia who was on? What was your last joint?
Yeah, the True to
Yeah,
Form.
I really like that.
But
song.
that's the
she's
thing
from-
that-
she's from
What was the name of
Cambridge.
the song? What was
She's
it?
from
True
Cambridge.
to
That's
Form.
True to Form. Yeah.
But like here's the thing,
was
right?
good.
So
That was
like
good
that's a
collaboration.
sound.
Check that out,
was a
True to
nice
That's
Form.
sound.
that's funky, right? But like people aren't checking it. But the reason why like is like the lack of influence here. And but we're talking about building, right? So
Building
like,
the mass sound.
we have
Yeah.
to build it, and that's just like the first step of many steps to come.
Yeah, and those are people who respect art as far as like they want to collaborate with other artists who are like-minded and things of that nature. But I feel like there's literally like a level to this shit where if you're not just like if you're not like a regular to certain people, they won't allow you to be in their space. Like there's people who, for instance, and I won't like say nothing, like no names or nothing, but I've been to events, right, where me and homies have gone and rocked events where it was like you had to sign up to be there.
Yeah.
And the only reason we were allowed more or less to be there, like as far as like being able to walk up and rap, is because we had to sign up. Then we sign up, we kill shit, we do what the fuck we do, and then these people tell us straight up, oh, yo, yeah, you know, pretty good or whatever. They rock with the shit, right? I try to follow up with people, or homies try to follow up with people, and it's fucking ghosts.
Ghosts, yeah, nobody,
It's
yeah.
politics.
And it's like,
Yeah.
bro, if you're gonna fucking ghost people, it means. And I was literally just talking to somebody today, Issa from the 978. That's our homie from Lawrence. She's a wicked talent. She literally just said something on Instagram today that resonated with me really hard. And it was just basically like, it was like some shit that she was like, why do y'all think that you're so much above us that you can't fucking even like answer us back type shit? You feel me? And that's some shit that really hit me, because I'm like, yo, I've been in the room with motherfuckers who I can out rap fucking day in and day out. I look down the camera and say it. I can kill y'all rapping. And this motherfucker could kill y'all rapping. And y'all ain't shit compared to what the fuck we do. But y'all don't want to fucking vibe. And I think I know why y'all don't want to vibe.
No, but I
think it's
I
gatekeeping?
think
It's gatekeeping,
No,
and
but
it's
a lot-
because motherfuckers got skill.
No, but a lot of times too, like I think, like, and I always tell people because I go all over the place and I build my contacts and I build my network, and this is and a lot of it's like the first form of business is keep relationships, keep building those. If someone gives you their number, follow up the next day, follow up, keep following up. Don't lose contact with people. Like, I've met people that like have that do amazing things, and I'm like, and I tell them I'm gonna follow up with you, and I'm gonna follow up with you, and I will, and I keep in contact with them. I send them videos, like I keep relationship building, because it's okay if you get a favor from someone, and then like that's cool, but if someone does something for you, follow up with something else. Follow up with something else.
I've literally had big DJs around here.
No, but
I've like gone in front of them and spit my bars, done my thing, and they've said to me, "Oh, pretty dope. Like, oh, yo, you got bars, you got this, blah blah. You can make hooks and shit like that." I follow up with them. I say, "Oh, yo, you know, I was that guy who did the thing, blah blah blah." Nothing. I've followed up to the point where motherfuckers have blocked me.
Wow.
Being like, and I'm just sitting there kind of like, how you gonna fucking block me?
But you know what?
When
You were too hungry.
You feel what I'm saying?
No,
No,
but
I
you
mean,
know
maybe
what?
I am. Maybe I'm too damn hungry.
I think you should be though. But I think
should be.
All I know is
but
that at
this
a
is-
point when you're too hungry and you're in a field full of cows, bro,
What's that thing Tupac
and
said?
you're ready to
What's
the
that
fucking
thing Tupac said?
and
What's
listen,
that thing Tupac said about being hungry? He said, at first you knock on the door and you say, I'm really hungry, and then you start to knock a little
Bang
harder
on
and you
the
start to
door.
say, hey, I'm really hungry. And then you kick the fucking
It's
door
like
down and you
pretty
say, I'm
much,
fucking starving, I'm eating your fucking food.
But there's an
the fuck it is.
But as an artist, I think a lot of times, like you were saying with the social media and doing all this, I think what you're missing sometimes too, I think the art of networking is super important, and networking online, that's cool. But like the art of networking, I know for me personally, when I'm networking, and anybody who knows me knows my network, I always come with a gift bag. I never come through anybody's door empty-handed. If I'm going to a concert and I know I'm gonna meet an artist, I come and bring them something. I'll bring them some wine. I'll bring them some flowers. I'll bring them a box of pastries.
Does that work for men?
Yeah.
Like, you know.
Yeah,
like,
no, but
Thank you
but
for the
no,
food, by
no,
the way.
but when
That
you-
was amazing curry
thank you.
chicken.
I mean, that's nice.
Amazing.
But if I
curry
made the
chicken
food for you,
plantains.
like, oh, this guy is
so
but
good.
you
You know what I mean?
you'll be surprised. Like if you come through the door and you're networking with another artist, if you're a dude, I would say come through with a nice, like, hey, here's a nice bottle of cognac,
here's a box of chocolate.
here's a nice cigar, Cuban cigar. You know what I mean? Come through with something of like sophistication.
Yeah.
And they'll be like, yo, that's dope. That dude from Boston, yo, that dude, who's that? They might not remember your name,
Pinehurst.
but they'll be like, yo, that kid from Boston, he brought me this fly ass bottle of Cavassier. Yo, follow up with that kid. And I had like a major like television producer one time tell me, he was like, you might not even be the most talented person, but if people like you, they'll work with you.
Yeah.
So Instagram and all that stuff, that's cool. We all need to do that. But there's still this art to the networking in person.
The finesse.
Yeah, the finesse.
Yeah.
The finesse.
But I just don't think that works when it comes to like, man, if you like if you brought me a box of chocolate, I
Not
would think
chocolate.
that was
Listen,
nice.
No, I'm not telling you
know.
about no man, no chocolate.
Chocolate. Oh, but it
Some
has like a
cognac.
hint of cognac.
No, a chocolate with a hint of cognac. You mean a jerk. Listen, I'm talking about like a nice cigar, a nice Cuban cigar where someone can look at it and say, yo, he paid at least $100 for this cigar. They'll remember that.
I just feel like as an artist, like you shouldn't be trying to. I guess it's a nice gesture, and I guess it might be good for networking. But I feel like what you should bring is like your skills.
Yeah, that's what I would think
hunger,
too.
Your hunger
'Cause
for your artistry.
What happens when you what happens when you work 60 hours a week and you still broke as fuck and you're fucking trying to come up on some shit and you're like, yo, I would love to, like, I'll share some weed with you, I'll buy some beers, I'll buy some booze for you.
Yeah,
we'll chill,
true,
right?
that's true, yeah.
But it's like, bro, I'm in the same fucking boat as you. We are, you know what I'm saying? Like, we ain't out here making millions yet.
But at the end of the day, man, it's all about how you present yourself.
Right.
And these people want to see superstar status.
Yeah, that's true.
Not that you have to be the superstar everyone's talking about. You got to be the superstar that no one's talking about. And that's what they want. They want to exploit you to the best of their abilities so they can make the most money off you.
That's
a lot of these people want that from you. That's all they're looking for. These people are trying to get in your ass. And
Pause.
That's for
Pause.
real. That's really the truth.
I mean, some of them
100%
might be trying to actually get in
Pause,
there.
Literally,
pause,
inside.
Pause.
Yeah.
But also too, it's like it's sometimes it could be that, or it could just be like likability.
Yeah.
You know what I
Yo,
mean?
here's the thing, right? So, for instance, me as an artist and a producer, right? I can spit, I can produce beats, right? I could give somebody a beat, I could give somebody a verse. One of the things that I try to do with certain producers, if I fuck with you as far as like I think you're talented and I think we could collab on some shit, if I really fuck with you, I don't ask for a beat and say, oh, I'll buy a beat from you, which is fine too because I'm putting money in your pocket. I could do that. But instead what I do is I say, yo, if you give me a beat, I'll spit on it and I'll spit the hardest fucking whatever you need me to spit as hard as I can. And you can have it as your song, and you can feature me. So that way, if the streams and everything goes, if it
They
goes
don't
up,
want that though.
but they
Okay,
don't
so
want
I'm
that.
gonna
They don't
address
want
the
that.
elephant in the room.
What is-
How do you think that the black community welcomes you as a white rapper? A
Jesus
white
Christ,
MC.
really?
I'm gonna ask you
Well,
because I
no,
know.
that's a great
As
question.
I know,
That's
yeah,
a great,
I know
that's
y'all
a great
thinking
question.
it. I'm there.
To be honest, I don't know. Like, to be honest, I don't
Do
know.
people really care about that?
Some people do.
That's a real thing.
This is why I don't know because
The reason
I
why
don't know who
ask if
does and
that's
I don't
a
know
real
who
thing
doesn't
is
care.
because I can't imagine it being a real thing.
Yeah.
It seems
Because
ridiculous at this point.
Not that it's ridiculous, no. But the thing is that there should be a respect factor.
Yeah.
If you do it to a certain level, I can understand it where people would be like, "Oh, this fucking guy." Like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Like, but there's also like a moment where you're like, "Wow, this fucking guy." You know what I mean? Like,
Johnny,
you know what I
Johnny.
mean? Like, it's like one
There's
of
a
those
difference.
things.
Yeah.
like-
True.
and I like to think I'm the second one. You know what I mean? So
Yeah,
it's
'cause
like,
we don't
I'd
do
rather
no
you be threatened than be taken as a joke.
big
You know
facts.
what I
We
mean?
know exactly. We don't we know. We try to do our research as far as like
We
loving
don't do
this
research.
craft.
Listen,
Hey, you seem
No,
pretty
no,
knowledgeable
no,
than
not
me.
research
No,
when it's love. But here's
No,
the
I
thing,
know,
right?
but what I'm saying is, like, hip-hop, we love
but here-
hip-hop.
But this is the thing I'm trying to say, right? Like, there's a level of
We love the
respect.
history of it. That's what I'm trying to
And
say.
it does
and we
take-
love the respect.
It takes
the
a
history.
lot of, believe me, to be a white artist, like, in this kind of art, like, of course we're aware of it.
Yeah.
we
Because,
know we
like,
get looks
know,
sometimes.
we know, like, what people think of us.
Yeah,
Like,
and
we
you-
walk
and you- and
into
you know-
this
and
shit-
you know-
some.
and
walked
the-
into
and the
this
reason-
shit.
and the-
I walk into this shit swinging.
Okay.
By the way,
That's
Johnny-
true. We go and take a
Johnny-
hit.
y'all
song.
looking at the fence, I'm looking over the fence. The reason why I say that is because I'm swinging
offense.
for the fucking field in the back.
Mm.
And like, here's the thing: like, everyone's like, "Oh, like, blah 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 blah," like it fucking matters. Like, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like, it doesn't. As long as I'm fucking trying to like reach people
long
and
as you're
like
dope.
Yeah,
that's
exactly.
The
As
thing.
long
Like,
as
I'm
you're
not
dope.
no whack MCs, bro. That's
No,
it.
that's what-
And like, there's no fucking
Bruh.
whackness around here.
True.
So
Like,
that's
we're
why you guys
not
are-
out here like talking about some stupid fucking shit that doesn't matter.
But the reason
like,
why I asked that is because, of course,
No,
like
you have to
I
ask
have
that.
to ask that.
Yeah,
This is a
but
podcast.
this is the thing. They're
People
saying
are
it's
watching.
not over
They see
here.
the visual.
Yeah.
And if I don't ask it, people are gonna be like, "Why didn't you ask them?"
But then it's like,
Was it-
why did you ask?
Because
but
that's
it's,
the-
no matter what you do, you're damned if you do, you're damned if you don't. And
That's
I'm
facts.
not damning you at all. I get it.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
that's my favorite
It is what
question
it
to be
is.
I
asked.
think that's why you
It
guys
is
come
what
with
it-
But
like,
here's the thing: we're heavy-handed. Go ahead and ask that fucking question. It's not against
We
you.
have
It's
answers.
against the people who don't want to ask it, but
Right.
have
Yeah.
their reservations.
Yeah, they
Let
still
them
got-
have their fucking reservations. They can kiss my fucking balls and dick. Because at the end of the
Pause,
day,
pause,
I'm
we-
then-
pause,
I'm probably
pause.
more
Not the
of a- I'm-
gooch.
No, but here's the thing: I'm more probably of a hip hop fan than a lot of these people fucking that would question me are.
Yo, and
It's- you
shouts
know,
to
this-
Moses, shouts to
this
Jakes
is
in
a
the back, by the
fucking-
way.
Listen, this shit is a hot topic till it's not, right?
Right.
Yeah.
That's it. So
I think what-
I'm on this shit before and after the topic's hot.
I think with
For
hip
you
hop,
to trend,
I think
like,
with
that's, like, a
hip-hop,
difference.
I think with hip hop, like when it first started, it was a way for the youth in the inner city to. It was just like a culture, like
you
pop,
gotta- you
like
had to
pop
key the
culture,
feeling
like
that-
pop culture, like everybody like popping and locking, and everybody was DJing. It was
MC
like
Cool Herc.
it was a culture.
No, we
that
understand,
came
but that's the
from-
thing. Like, you had to really key the feeling.
Right.
There was an aggression. There's a
There was
rawness
aggression,
to it.
but it was but at the same time there was also like this fun like kickback, like I remember like rappers used to dance, like it was like a thing, like a whole thing, and
nowadays it's not cool.
B-boys.
Now, now it's not
Yo,
cool,
R.I.P.
but,
to B-boys.
but like I think the one thing about
Fucking
the
Sugar
one
Hill
thing,
Gang
the one
to,
thing
to
with hip-hop
DMX.
is
Like,
that
there was like, that's the range of like the spectrum, right? Like,
The-
like there's the funk, and then there's like the aggression. There's like
there's
it's
something
a wide
for
range.
everybody.
Yeah.
But I think with like the culture, especially like with black people as a culture, we are just like that's us. Like everybody's like, what is that? You know what I mean? Like whatever. It's like, what is that? What is that? You know what I mean? And so when you see like other cultures, other nationalities getting into hip hop, you're like, wow, like they see it too.
Well,
You know what I mean?
You can't really say that just because, like, the way that hip hop has been going is that it's been like ever expansive. Like, cause now like hip hop is like, well, one Murder Inc. was like based off like white mobsters and and shit
Yeah,
like
yeah.
that.
Yeah.
And then like also now it's taking a toll where like hip hop artists want to be rock stars.
Yeah.
You know what I
Yeah,
mean? So
yeah.
it's like hip hop is very like inclusive, but like sometimes like I do think people gatekeep the culture, and maybe for like good reason. But I do think it's a ever expanding kind of genre.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
a
it
building
is.
block.
Yeah.
But that's the thing, like it's all building off of what came before it. Like,
Yeah.
and that's anything in life, though. That's why it shouldn't be like so specific, because it's not. It's very general, and that's why people are drawn
Gravitate
to
to
it.
it. Gravitate.
Like, people gotta stop trying to like build these barriers that don't need to be, because that's the same shit that created the issue.
Yeah.
You know, like
That's
everyone
true.
wants to build these fucking boundaries that like, or not boundaries, because boundaries are like a thing to respect, but like people want to build a separation. There doesn't need to be.
That's
Well,
true.
but part of it is like I was playing devil's advocate. But part of it is like we have seen when like people try to commercialize
Yeah, they
it
try
even
to
more.
exploit the fucking culture,
You know what I
and
mean?
that's a
Like-
total. That you're right, because that happened with rock and roll, right? Like white people fucking exploited rock and roll from black artists, or like
Chuck
any
Berry.
fucking music ever, right?
Mhm.
Like
Right, Chuck-
that's the truth, and that's not like a lie. But you gotta weed it out. Not everybody of
It's
a
true.
skin color is to the stereotype that you think it is, right? So it's like you can't do that on either side, no matter the fucking play.
Yeah,
But-
because that's true. Because I honestly, I listen to.
I agree with that.
I listen to everything.
Hell yeah.
And like sometimes I'll be like in a circle of people. I remember like
You listen to square
I
dancing
was
music?
just I don't listen to square dancing, but I
She
will.
lied.
No, but
She
I
lied.
will. But I will square dance. But like no, I was out in LA or whatever, and this guy was outside the club, and he was just talking, just industry stuff, right? And he was just talking, and like he was saying something about Johnny Cash, and I said, "Oh yeah, he did 9 Inch Nails over again." He remade Nine. He looked at me like, how does she know? Like, and I'm like, no, I know Nine Inch Nails, and I know Johnny Cash, and I know Cinderella, and I know Motley Crue, and I know.
Was that the whole I hurt myself today?
Yeah, you know. But the thing is, like,
To
you can't just
see if I
you can't just like, you can't just look at me and assume like that I don't know. I know who Johnny Cash is. I know who Nine Inch Nails is. I know who. I listen to a lot of. I listen to everything.
You listen to an array of things.
I do.
can't make no
I do.
assumptions,
Like I think
man.
one of my favorite songwriters who gets totally slept on, and I think she's totally genius, is actually Dolly Parton.
Ooh, Dolly.
And
Shouts to Dolly.
and she gets and people sleep on her. She's
I
a
never listen to
genius
music.
mind.
I just like her
Jolene.
boobs.
She's a
Jolene.
But this is what's genius about her.
That's the one song.
Boobs?
No, what's genius is about what?
The wig.
No. Excuse me, sir. No.
Sorry.
What's genius about Dolly Parton is she plays the dumb blonde, but she's disguised her genius. She's really a genius.
Like Marilyn Monroe.
Exactly. She's a genius mind, but they play. Watch the women who play stupid. They're actually probably the smartest women in the room, but they downplay it.
Kim
but
Kardashian.
Dolly,
Theo Von.
Easy.
I want to take that as a fact, though.
but-
Some of them
Yeah.
could just be stupid.
So, but
Built a whole empire.
but what I'm saying is Dolly Parton she has a genius mind, and she is actually like one of my favorite songwriters. Her and Stevie Nicks, I would have to say, their writing is
Thieving.
crazy.
Lan-
So, and it's not
Thieving.
even about a skin color or any what's that?
No, it has
it's just
nothing to
about
but that.
they
See how
are
you
genius
identify it
minds.
as something that doesn't have to be by
Right.
color, but
So-
something of
but
genius,
a
like
lot of-
something
a lot of
admirable.
times- A
Some
lot of times
people do
people are
this.
so surprised, like, those are your favorite songwriters. And I'm like, do you know that woman wrote like, if I watched this interview with Dolly Parton, and she said she went in the studio one day and she wrote like 40 songs in a day or 20 songs in a day. Do you know
Damn.
how hard
That's
that
crazy.
is?
Work
Yeah.
ethic.
To
Nuts.
a song to put the melody together.
Yeah, did she do it sober?
And she plays an instrument.
Yeah.
Whether she did it sober or any kind of way, every artist
All those
has their
chords, man.
every artist has their method when you get in the studio, and you know what I'm talking about. Every artist has whatever they got to do to get the art out. Whatever you do, no judgment. But the fact that she can go into a studio and create a melody and play an instrument and come up with 20-something songs or something like that.
Fire.
To be able to manufacture and have that kind of quality is a
Super fire.
She's a genius mind.
That is true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Speaking of that, where are other places that you get like inspiration? Because one of your songs is like kintsugi.
Kintsugi.
So I was like, that's Japanese, right? And I
Yeah.
looked it up. That was like pottery. What did I write down? It's embracing your flaws and imperfections.
So I have yeah, that's what it is metaphorically, but the actual process of kintsugi is when in Japanese culture a pot like a clay pot breaks, and instead of throwing the pot away, they mend it back together with gold.
Oh, that's dope.
Yeah. So I have a bar about that where I say, the first thing I say is, beams of light through the cracks of my old ways, sanitize my soul, hope it glows like the old days, before I ever knew better. So it goes as so they say. Imperfections don't mean the whole thing get thrown away. My spirit mended with gold like some kintsugi. My village built for the growth, I hope I can prove it. Some of y'all just here for the vibes. I know we been groovy. Mikey out here shooting his shots. You know it's his movie.
Who would you? So,
I'll give you some snaps for that. I'll give you some snaps.
poetry. That's poetry.
That's poetry. Okay, I appreciate
so
that.
now, ladies, you said shooting your shot.
Yeah, that's right.
So if you could shoot your shot at someone
No, I
that's
mean, you
looking
looked at
late-
me.
No, not you. I'm looking at you because I'm here with you. So now, if you could shoot your shot at is there any young lady out here you want to shoot your shot at?
Well, I have a beautiful lady back home, so I can't, and
You can shoot your shot at your lady.
yeah, that's true. So I'm gonna shoot my shot at her. Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna do my. Yeah, I'm gonna. Yeah, how'd I bag her? when I was a little kid, like
she's an eighth grade girlfriend?
Yeah. Well, no.
She actually is an 8th grade girlfriend.
She is.
But not the same one,
She's
though.
not a girl from the
not
eighth
the
grade,
same one.
though.
Yeah.
It's a girl he
Different
met in the
girl.
eighth grade.
A girl who I we didn't really date until we were older, but yeah. So yeah.
If there was ever a
teenage
person that like values childhood friends, that must be you, bro.
Yeah.
For sure.
What I value is
That's
people.
some Toy Story shit.
Yo, Toy Story is one of my favorite movies.
Yeah.
What I value is people who you give them something and they don't just throw it away. You know what I mean? Because I'm a type of dude who I give, you know what I mean? Like, that's kind of just like some shit I do. I don't know, man. I give. I try to give. I really do, and I really try hard not to take.
Right.
And if I do take, I try to take, and then I try to make something and give it back.
Yeah, I'm gonna give it to
Yeah,
you.
because that was your last Twitter post, right? Like 5 days ago. Lesson learned: don't give your time to those who have no respect for you.
Yo.
Hashtag food for
I'm
thought.
glad you're
This
doing
guy's
that research. So
This
I don't
guy's
even.
the fucking FBI.
I don't even go on Twitter anymore. Yo, okay.
Okay.
I won't say exactly why I said that, but here's what I will say. Here's what I will say. Recently, I had a situation where on a night that I had a free day from working, I could have picked between going to a friend's situation and watching him thrive, or doing something that I thought would benefit me in a way where it would maybe help me grow, so that way, in my mind, I could grow enough to help others. And that's my intention all in all, right? And I told my friend, hey, I want to go see something. I want to go see your thing, but I might be doing this thing. And he gave me his blessing. Go ahead. Go do that thing. And I went and did that thing, and I wasted my fucking time because I went there, I did my thing, and then the thing I went there for got canceled.
Oh.
So I ended up going somewhere with a broken headlight, you know, out of my fucking way to a place that was nowhere near me in order to try to benefit myself.
In order to benefit others.
And yeah, not like in a selfish way. Like, I'm just trying to grow.
Yeah.
But now I know what I should have done was given my time to a person who respected me.
Right.
And a person who wanted me there. Because
Yeah.
when I went to this place and I was going to do my thing, the first thing I did, I walked up to a person who I knew. I said, hey, what's up? And he said, hey, you look familiar.
Oh.
And I said, I'm Mikey fucking Dzzz, bitch. You know what I'm saying? What the fuck we talking about?
Yeah,
you know what
yeah,
I'm saying? He was like, oh, yeah. And I know him. And he said, what's good to my homie, Stevie Cash? Oh, I know you. As if I, like, wasn't even standing there.
Yeah.
Interesting.
And I was kind of like,
Disrespect.
I was like, all right. I guess I'll just do my thing then. I guess I'll just grin and fucking bear it.
Yeah, because obviously, you know what? Well, so what is your? So what? I'm gonna ask. What you as well? What is your What is your main quality in a friendship? What is something that you need in every friend that you have? Like, what makes an essential good friend? Essential good friend.
The first thing,
Answer right.
first thing foremost, like, I'm the type of dude who, and this is not just for friends, this is also for lovers, this is for business, this is for people, you know, my own family. The first thing that comes in a relationship, if you tell me something, you give me your word, oh, I'm going to go do something, I'm going to blah, 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 yes, I'm going to go do something. If you don't do it, I understand that, like, sometimes things come up, and that's no big deal. But if it happens a million fucking times and you're basically lying to me, if you tell me you're going to do something and you give me your word and you don't do it, it hurts me.
Yeah.
Because if I tell you I'm going to do something for you,
Like
or do something in general,
I'm gonna do it.
I'm going to like, even if it sucks and I don't want to do it and all this bullshit, I'm going to do it. I'm going to try my hardest to do it. And if I can't do it, I'm going to let you know, yo, I tried as hard as I possibly could. I couldn't do it. That's the first thing for me. If you give me your word and you go back on it on some just like, oh well, I couldn't do it on some bullshit, fuck off. You know you ain't with it. Sorry.
Well, that's what I would say. It would be effort.
Effort. That's what I'm saying. Like, it's one thing to be like, look, something came up. I really can't do it. And that's fine. That's totally fine. But it's like, I can't, it's just not good, not a good time for me. It's like, if it's not a good time now, we only got so much time.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
That's true. No,
Don't waste mine.
no, that's true. I've seen a lot of people like kind of go through things and like, and they're just like, I'm not in the mind capacity and stuff like
Yeah.
that. Sometimes you wouldn't even want them to be around if they're not in that good mind capacity.
Yeah.
So, but it was like I see them like try to make it up in different ways. So it's like maybe going out is not their thing because they don't like being around people.
Yeah.
And they're like actually an introvert, or even though I don't believe introverts exist.
I knew he was about to say something about introvert. You're obsessed with this introvert thing, but go ahead.
Yeah, we got to get a conversation about that.
Sheesh.
A lot of people who I want to say I don't think introverts exist. I think a lot of people who identify as introverts are full of shit. But
Facts. They're just lazy.
But it's the effort. You know what I mean? The effort to make things work. The effort to like say like you couldn't support me in like being there physically, but like say like you helped me out in a different way.
Yeah.
I understand that.
Yeah.
But that's me, just effort. What were you gonna say, Johnny?
I think. What was the question again?
The question is, what makes an essential good friend? Like, for me, like you have to have the same like belief system, faith system, spiritual beliefs. We have to have equally yoked on certain things, because that way I know if you have a certain belief system that you're going to fall in line with my beliefs. So I know that you'll be honest. I know that you'll be truthful. I know you'll be transparent. I'll know. But if you don't have like, if we're not on the same wavelength, like with certain things, you probably won't be a good friend to me.
Yeah.
And I probably won't even want you as a friend. I wouldn't even open the door. So I would say like what's important to me in a friend is them being aligned with the same belief systems as me. Yeah.
Okay. I can understand that for sure. So for me, it would have to just be trust.
Yeah.
Even in friendships and relationships. I was just actually telling Mike about this on the way here, is that we were talking about our women that we're in love with.
I was just about to ask you,
You guys
who's
do
your
trust
lady,
falls?
Johnny?
You guys do trust falls with each other?
Huh?
You guys do trust falls? You go like this.
I only do trust.
I only do all the time, man.
I only do. Listen.
all the time, man.
I only do trust falls in my bed when I catch Z's, my G.
You want to do it with your girl?
Nah.
You don't really. How are you gonna say that's a value if you don't even trust your girl, bro?
Nah, I'm kidding. No, but no, seriously, that was actually a conversation. We were on our way over here, and I was like, you know what? You know what's more important than love? Trust.
Mm.
You know how many
probably
women
true.
I loved? I'm a lover, man.
You're
I
a
really
lover
do.
boy?
I'm
Told me I'm a
Me
lover
too.
girl. I was like, what is the lover girl? So you're a lover boy.
I'm a lover. What gets me
Okay.
in a lot of trouble.
Certified.
I guess I'm a lover
Yeah,
girl.
it gets me in a lot of trouble, but I'm gonna tell you right now. Listen, if there was the Shawn Michaels of rap music, it's me, Heartbreak Kid. And listen, I fall in love quick. That's who I am. But here's the thing, right? Love don't mean shit, 'cause it's nothing without trust.
It's true.
Yeah.
If you don't have trust, your relationship's doomed.
Yeah.
And the
It's
reason
true.
why is if I gotta worry about you, I shouldn't be with you, 'cause that's only
That's
gonna
facts.
hurt me. Love is a residual thing
Yeah.
in a relationship, believe it or not. Because if you don't have trust in that person, you might as well fucking leave.
Because someone can love you and do you wrong, but they can genuinely love you.
Listen, if anyone ever
Yeah.
cheats on you, no matter what they say, you gotta leave.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not worth it.
You broke it. That's it. You're always gonna. You want to spend the rest of your life like, oh no.
Don't be
what
a
is she doing?
grimy.
Yeah, but don't
Like,
say that.
no.
Don't say that to
Well,
Jay-Z
you know,
when you meet him, because you cheated on Beyonce.
Listen,
you
that's
know what
Jay
I mean?
though. Listen, that's
Like,
that's
no,
the
you're a
difference.
legend, bro. You're good.
Yeah,
You ever seen that movie?
he's
The
not
Godfather?
human. That's why, like,
We got a bar. My brother some Fredos. I might take him fishing.
Oh shit.
And that's
but that's
big
like
facts.
a true thing. Like,
If I
that-
can't trust you.
that
You're
for me, that
something
this
wrong.
only applies for me, honestly. And I like, to be honest, like I believe people should believe that.
Why you laughing so hard over there in the corner? Don't run. Bye.
Moses fresh to death, bro.
Too busy looking at his own
Love
jacket.
that. Yo, I love that fucking jacket. That shit is
But
hard.
at the end
Shoes
of the
go
day,
crazy.
right? So I'm just like, it's trust for me. in my subjective way of viewing it, is if you don't have trust in a relationship, you might as well throw it out. Because I can love anybody.
Mm-hmm.
I love my dad, but he a deadbeat fuck. You know what I mean? Like, that's like, at the end of the day, if you don't got trust, you don't got nothing.
Yeah, because if you can't trust him to show up or trust him to support you,
Exactly.
what is
So,
that?
some shit. But, like, that's why, like, you got to have trust. That's the most important thing. If I trust you, I'm happy. I trust my girlfriend a lot. She's a good woman. She's always shown up and done the right thing by me, as far as I know. And I'm happy with her. So
Hit those trust falls, though.
So now, do you freestyle?
I do trust.
you
I don't do the
freestyle?
actual trust fall, but I trust fall
Do
emotionally.
we freestyle?
Yeah.
Okay.
We do freestyle. I freestyle a little bit. This motherfucker is probably the greatest freestyle rapper I've ever straight up
You
seen in my life.
freestyle?
Oh, hell yeah.
This man right here freestyles like crazy. I'm not as up to par as this man, but I can do my shit.
You freestyle?
Me? I can freestyle, but nothing will make sense. It'll just be things that
Yeah, I
rhyme.
could kind of like drop some little pieces together.
I freestyle with a lot of confidence.
I rap like Yabba Dabba Doo. Like my freestyles are real like Yabba Dabba Doo. What's going on with you? Cordelia got flow. I thought you knew.
Yeah.
I got red shoes and red lips to match. I got my cap to the back. And it's like that. That's how I freestyle.
Hell yeah.
for sure.
It's just really
At least
simple.
it's honest.
Yeah.
Honest,
Yeah, it's
man.
honest.
Yeah,
It's like,
honest.
yeah, you know what I'm saying?
There's a good effort there.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you very
That's
much.
the thing, though. A lot of these guys, like, you end up hearing a freestyle, and you're like, that was fucking crazy. And then you end up hearing it on their album, and you're like, this motherfucker. I feel cheated, bro. It's like,
Because you were cheated. You know what I mean? Like, okay, so who's your favorite, like, freestyle artist?
J. Cole.
Okay.
I never heard that motherfucker spit a freestyle that he ever had on a song. I love Royce. Royce the 5'9" is like one of my
Royce
favorite
5'9",
rappers, but
okay.
I've heard him spit verses. on the-
Slaughterhouse.
Yeah, well,
Yeah,
we
he's
don't
down
want to talk
Slaughterhouse.
about that.
Okay.
But like, yeah, like,
My
we
favorite
don't want
freestyle
to talk
artist
about
is
Joe Button on VH1.
Yeah, sorry.
right?
Shout out to
Yeah,
Joe
facts.
Button.
Let's talk
Shout out
about
to Joe
that.
Button.
He's
Yo,
the pod king. Shout out to you. Got to give Joe Button his props.
He's the pod king, but his
Yeah.
beard is trash.
Big facts.
Oh.
Shout out to Earl Sweatshirt.
I don't trust nobody whose beard is close to their cheekbones.
Well, you know I'm
Yeah,
gonna
that's
send
way
you.
out.
You know I'm gonna
Now I
send this to
got it.
Joe Button though, right?
That's
fine.
all right. He
Okay.
can come fucking try to.
That's
Okay,
fine.
I am.
He's got
Nah,
a bunch of white boy.
Best-
I am
Best
gonna send
freestyle
this to Joe Button.
Best freestyle rapper I ever heard, Big L.
Listen,
Okay.
honestly,
Oh.
Easy.
Shout out to Harlem.
Harlem,
Hey.
straight
all
up.
I know is
Yeah,
that,
no, I
that,
love
that
Big
Joe
L.
Button needs to stop trying to
139
look like
Atlantic,
Swiss
baby.
Beats. That's it.
Yeah.
That's a good choice.
Yo.
Mine was 2000 and was it 2007, 2000 to 2011? Lil Wayne.
Lil Wayne?
He's nasty.
Yeah,
He's
that
so
was
fire.
that's when he freestyled on every freaking beat and everything was a banger. That was like amazing to me. So
Alright.
that era
Nasty.
of him, that was my favorite freestyle artist.
I'm gonna hit
Hell
y'all with Black Thought from the Roots.
Ooh, Black
Thought.
Thought.
He's
Yes.
the
He's the best
Good,
freestyler
good.
ever.
I'm gonna hit
Yo,
y'all with
hands
Black
down.
Thought.
Probably
I
the
hope it's
best,
freestyles,
probably
too.
the
Black
best
Thought.
lyricist of all time. And shouts out to that Danger Mouse project he just dropped. Like,
He did just
get
drop
me on the
something.
next one, yo.
He did. Shout out to Black
Please.
Thought. Black Thought's my
Black
my
Thought
number
is
one.
so fucking fire.
Yeah.
Like, oh my god, bro. Like, he spits poetry again.
Yeah.
Like, he spits shit that when you hear it, you almost don't know what he's talking about, and then you have to look
Play it
back.
back.
Yeah,
Yeah.
play it back. That's replay value. That's that's a different kind of replay value. There's replay value where you're like, oh, this is catchy, and then there's replay value where you're like, I don't get it. I need to know.
Mm-hmm.
I need to know. Some people say, I don't get it. Fuck it. It's over. Some people say, I don't get it. I need to know. And those, that's
For sure.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Black Thought's mine.
Actually, when we talk about replay value, there was one song. Actually, well, it was actually the whole thing. I think one theme that you were talking about. You talk about a few themes in your songs, but one thing was like not having regrets or maybe just emotional feelings over things you couldn't control.
Yeah.
Could you talk about that a little bit? I think Now and Again is one song that I heard that from again.
Thank you. Yeah, Now and Again is probably like the quintessential song on Square One, and it's where I name drop the mixtape as well. Yeah, a lot of the time, me as an artist and me as a human being, I think a lot to myself about the fact that I might not have as much control as I want to. And there used to be a long time ago. There was a philosopher. His name was Epictetus. and his philosophy basically was know what you can control and know what you can't. And if you know the difference and you don't put your emotions towards the wrong thing, you won't be miserable. And that's it. Like, and he was a dude who was like intentionally homeless, intentionally broke. He was an ancient Greek, like things like that, you know. But this is something that I apply to these, you know, this day and age, because it's a totally fucking different world. It's a different landscape. But I just think a lot to myself. I even just last night, I just, you know, did a little poll on Instagram, and I said, because I was curious and I was with my girl, I was talking to her about some shit, and I was saying, do you think you get what you earn, or do you think you get what you get? And she was like, of course you get what you earn, but also you kind of get what you get, so it's a little of both. And I was kind of like, I was like, maybe you're right, like I hope you earn your keep, but sometimes I think we all just get what we get, and in that way
You
it kinda,
definitely just get what you get.
that shit
I'm with
depresses
you,
me.
bro.
Yeah,
That
you
shit
don't get
depresses
what you
me.
earn.
Because you can be the
it's like
nicest person.
Because you
and
can be the
treated like
nicest
trash.
and you can be the nicest fucking rapper, you can be the nicest director, you can be the nicest fucking, you know, caregiver, and shit just don't matter.
It's all about how it's like reacted to, but not rationalized.
It's all
so
ab-
it's like always a thing. It really is a thing where like people don't even like process it in a thought. Like
Yeah.
they're just like, eh.
Yeah. Some people take one look at you and they be like, he don't got it. It's like,
Yeah.
you didn't hear it. You
I'm
you press
5'5"
play
and a
on the
half.
song. You heard
know?
2 seconds.
Yeah.
Like
Listen.
how you listen to one? How do you listen to 5 seconds of a song and say to yourself, he don't got it?
Yeah, you gotta listen to the
Yeah.
whole thing. You just have to
Well,
You
listen.
feel what I'm saying?
Wasn't that philosophy you're talking about? Wasn't he like one of Plato's or one of
He was one of
those teachers?
yeah. Plato, yeah, who was a student of Socrates, yeah.
Yeah, but he could have been Socrates' teacher. But didn't he kind of get ostracized for his thoughts?
So
what I mean? Like-
Socrates got killed politically for his thoughts. He was forced to drink poison and die because what he said, his main philosophy was question everything.
So do you get what you get, or do you get what you earn?
Get what you get.
That's what he thinks.
That's what I think.
So in my world, I think
I think it was a little bit of both.
it's like you get what you get, as far as like with this world, you can't choose how tall you are, you can't choose what skin color you are, you can't choose what, you know, if you have a dick or a pussy, you know, or maybe
And
you
that's
can
what-
these
that's
days,
the
but
whole,
Dussy.
like that
You
falls
know,
under the line
yeah.
of you get what you get.
yeah. So you can't choose those things, but what you can choose is how to react to those things. So what you can choose is you can say, okay, well, I might be 5'8", but I'm gonna go out and I'm gonna like do a million jump shots until I'm the best.
I'm gonna get saucy.
Muggsy
to the point
Bogues
I'm
was like
6'5".
5'3". You know what I'm saying?
no, yeah,
So if
but-
Muggsy Bogues,
Yeah.
who's like a person who, if you take one look at him and you say he's not getting to the league,
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
no, motherfucker, he's a goddamn legend
Yeah,
because he
yeah.
earned it.
But
But
here's
you
the
can
thing,
also
though. Like,
choose-
there's an attitude factor. Like, dude, I feel like I've been the same height my whole life. Not like, you know,
You just
like,
came out the
up
womb
until
like
the point
that?
Came out
I can
5'5".
run.
Destroyed
Like,
your mom's
I've
vagina,
been
bro.
this height, but like I feel like when I look at people that are like 6'6", I'm like, I feel like I'm looking them eye to eye. And like the reason that's like a thing though. Like that's an attitude thing. Like
Yeah.
you walk in this bitch like, yo, I'm the motherfucking guy. Like you know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like you have, even like though it's like kind of like got that negative connotation to have like this whole like attitude where you're bigger than who you are. Not you gotta treat people with respect. Like you don't treat people like they're pieces of shit, but like you gotta walk into a room and be like,
With
I'm
confidence.
a
can do
fucking,
whatever
I'm
I
a
want.
fucking
Yeah.
crusader. Like I'm
yeah,
gonna take
have
your.
confidence. You have to
If you
walk
get in
into
my
it
way,
with
I'm gonna take
confidence.
your fucking head off. Like,
you gotta
and
have
if, like
confidence.
that's
But
how we
yeah,
have
and
to
that's a
be.
choice.
But let me say this. So we're talking about choices. Like you can choose to stand up for somebody, right? And that would be the morally good thing to do. But you can also get killed for that.
Yeah, but
That's
that's
Kantian.
because you can't control everything.
That's a different
So
kind of
that's
philosophy.
like
It's
the-
Kantian.
That's like the
Kantian.
universe at play. Like
Immanuel Kant.
you could put what you can put in, but you can't predict what you're gonna get out.
But I'm saying, but do you get what you get, or do you get what you earn?
You get what you get.
did you earn that because you stood
don't
up for something that you
necessarily
believe
get
in?
what you earn. You could be the person with the best intentions in any situation. Like River, if you ever seen Stand By Me, you see that movie?
Yo, blow up the comments, by the way. Do you get what you get? You get what you earn. Blow up the comments. Let's get it.
What is it?
But like what I'm saying is
I think
like,
you get what you fight for.
if you've ever seen like the movie
you want.
Stand By Me, it's about these kids. They go out to find a dead
their
body.
body.
It's based off a Stephen King novel, whatever, right?
Nice.
So like, what happens to one of the kids when they get older? They become a lawyer. They came from rags, found riches or whatever, right? Become a lawyer, and then some guy and this other guy, he's in a restaurant. They get into a fight. He goes to break it up. Best intentions, right? To be like, hey, look, why are we fighting? Break it up. He gets stabbed.
Dies.
Did he get what he get, or do you get what you earn? You could go into a situation with the best intentions and get the shit result from it. You don't get what you earn in this world. You get what you get.
I'm with you.
Says Johnny.
Because think about it. You walk into a situation with the best intentions to create peace and you get murdered. How ironic.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's like, you don't get what you
Nipsey
earn.
Hussle.
That's true.
R.I.P.
You don't get what you earn. That, like, because, like, if we all got what we are, we all be living life to the best extent.
If you
I
earned
don't
it.
know. I kind of.
some people earn. Some people earn.
A lot of
just-
people earn,
I
but
just like
that's a
fight
lot
for
of
shit.
chance put in with a lot of,
Hitler
like,
fought for Germany.
No, I just fight for what I want.
yeah,
I don't
but, like,
go in.
But then you gotta also, but then it's perspective based, right?
I don't.
Did
go,
I get what I feel like I earned?
But if I fight for it and I get it, then yeah, I deserved it. You know what I mean? If I
But
fight,
it's- but
if
it's
I
what you
fight,
believe at
if
the end
I
of the day.
right, like I fight for what I want. Like like I always say, and I'm gonna ask you. Oh, you asked before in the last podcast. Like I always say, my spirit animal or my I would say my athletic equivalent to how I think is I'm like an Al Iverson. I'm gonna fight for what I want. I'm gonna fight. If you kick me down, I'm gonna get up and I'm gonna keep fighting again. And nothing's
when
and
you
then
say Allen Iverson, but Allen Iverson never won a
championship, but that's all right.
But,
But,
like,
he's still a legend.
No, but
you
no
know?
one's denying that, and he's an icon, and he transcended certain aspects of that level. But like, here's the thing: at the end of the day, you're always gonna be fighting. Whether the fight is before you or after you, it's gonna be there.
Yeah.
Like that's the thing, and that not that you didn't contribute, but there's a force in the world, almost kind of like when you put two magnets together and they just won't fucking touch. Like that's like what we're talking about. That space. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Kobe
Like,
probably wouldn't have won 5 though. See, on the same thing, Kobe probably wouldn't have won 5 if he didn't have his own mentality.
Yeah, but like,
So
look,
it's
like this is
one of
the
those
thing you could
things.
say, right? You work to get what you earn, but you only get what you get. You'll work your whole life to get what you earn, but you'll only get what you get because what you're guaranteed.
I feel that.
You feel me?
I don't know.
That's it.
I just do dope shit.
It's a deep, yeah. my life is dope, and I do dope shit.
But that's a perspective-based thing too. At the end of the day, like I could feel like by the end of my life, like I didn't do shit, and I could have done incredible things. But like he could believe I earned, like I got exactly what I earned. I put the work, and I feel like it actually resulted the way I wanted it to. It's a perspective-based thing. It's not what other people think. At the end of the day, that's why it's so important to be an individual, because it's always going to add up to how you feel and how you think.
That's true.
Facts.
Last
The
time,
power is in your hands on how you perceive it.
that's true.
Perception.
Last time she asked me that question, like, who was your athletic equivalent to a spirit animal? I said Jake Paul. I thought it was kind of funny.
Jeez.
But I kind of like, so with athleticism, like obviously everyone's competing to be the best and stuff like that, and that's not really like my arena. I kind of like Jake Paul was kind of like more of a joke. I kind of like artists like Ryan Larkins. You guys probably wouldn't know who that is because he's more of like an animator. He's an animator that went homeless because he said like, I just want to draw. I just want to do this thing. Like this makes me happy. I get to draw all the time, stuff like that. I just like to kind of like create art. Cause I'm a sketch artist myself. I like do films and shit like that.
Hell yeah.
But I'm not really like trying to compete with people. I think it's like for me personally, I think it's an unhealthy mindset.
Yeah.
Some other people like they do good in that arena, but it's just not for me. So for me, that's what it is. I kind of like to be free fall with it. But did you guys have that athletic spirit animal?
I would say my athletic spirit animal is Dick Butkus. And if
Okay.
you know who Dick Butkus is, If you know, you know. That's all. I'll say.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
You know who?
And I think he's like, yeah, the one that's like, yeah, baby. The one he has that voice. Am I thinking of the wrong guy?
Dick Butkus used to play for the Chicago Bears in like 1965, and that was like before the rules were the rules. He used to take fucking heads off. That's all I gotta say. Look
Hell
up,
yeah.
look up a Dick Butkus highlight video, and you will see illegal fucking things. That's me as a fucking Dick Butkus.
Hell yeah.
I also used to play linebacker too, so that was my fucking idol. So.
Oh hell yeah.
Okay. Johnny's thinking.
I probably have to say Tom Brady.
Love
Oh, yeah.
that.
CB.
He's my second one.
Just because I'm a super white guy.
No. No.
But when it comes to wanting to be great, I'm a psychotic person.
Yeah, I'm gonna.
I'm like, yo, not saying that like I'm constantly chasing it like this guy, but
Mhm.
like if I don't get my fucking way, I'm the sorest sport you'll ever meet. And like, but like it only comes from the love of the sport.
That's a good one.
And are you good in that like so what's the equivalent of like a quarterback role in like the industry? Like it would be kind of like the person who's, you know, tossing the ball and coordinating things. Are you
It's
good
like
at that
being
too?
for me to be able to read it. Because like the thing about Tom Brady that makes him so great is that his coach could give him a play, but as soon as he gets on the field, he reads the defense and he changes it. And these guys have full faith in this guy to change it.
Yeah, that's a good one.
And like I get on this fucking field with these fucking players and I'm like, I know exactly who you are.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like I'm like, I know this fucker, like he's like that guy next to him. And like that's like for me when I like we talk about like this music shit. I've been in this shit for so long as far as like not like I'm only 27. I haven't been in this shit for like 40 years or nothing. But like I know a rapper when I see a rapper and I know what you're all about. And I by looking at you and by hearing you, if I hear a verse from you, I already know what you're about. Easy.
But I was gonna say too, because you guys been together since like 8th grade. But it's
Yeah.
like your team also relies on you for like morale and inspiration.
Oh
So,
yeah.
I mean, that's part of it.
At the end of the day, if we were to like coordinate it like a team, and like we had to compare ourselves to a team, it really is kind of like, probably the Bulls in the '96 era, or like the '90s era, like the late
Yeah.
'90s. I feel like it's like what is like 90, 94, 95, 96,
Yeah.
or 90, or like
Well,
95,
Yeah, they
96,
were dominant.
97.
96.
They would dominate.
94,
the
95.
They had Dennis
Jordan
Rodman
was in-
and that
They were
shit. And I
dominant.
probably
MLB.
yeah.
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 But, like, but the reason why I say that is pretty much because like, you know, we all dog each other. Like we always constantly talk shit to each other, so we're just like
Nice.
giving each other the motivation to like be better. I mean, at the end of the day, you see these guys.
You guys aren't yes men. You're like,
No,
that
definitely
shit was
not.
trash, bruh.
Nah, we're not.
we won't.
yes
we
men.
won't say it's trash, but it's like
We've been friends our whole life, right? And
yeah,
we, like,
we'll
dog
try
each
to
other
build
for
each
just
other.
who we
We're
are.
not just gonna tell somebody. We're not gonna just tell each other like, throw that one out, dog. You know what I'm saying? No,
Yeah.
it ain't like that. But it's more like
Like you guys have obviously heard about like the dark twisted fantasy like shit where like Kanye and Rick Ross did what's that song? Devil in a New Dress, one of my favorite songs. I can't believe I couldn't remember it, but one of my favorite Rick Ross verses.
Mm.
And the original verse, Kanye was like, "Yo, that's trash. Like you gotta like
Change
and
that
he's
up.
like, you
Change
gotta
that
change
up.
it up." And he's like, "Yo, like what?" he's
That's
like,
what it's
yeah,
all
he's
about.
like- and then he actually he really redid the verse, and he was like, you know, I forgot this one bar. I'm paraphrasing, but there is this hard bar in Ross's verse. He's like, "God bless this man I pulled his ice over." Like that shit is like some of the hardest shit I've ever heard. But like if Kanye wasn't like, "Yo, your shit's weak. Give me something harder," he wouldn't have got that.
He wouldn't.
Yeah, he wouldn't have had that
yeah.
energy on that song.
See, that's humility though, to not be degrading in a way where you're saying like, you ain't good enough, but to be motivating in a way where you say, look, you can do better. It's not you didn't do good enough, it's you have more.
You have more.
You have
yeah.
more. And that's the difference. Sometimes people just write you off and they say, not good enough. Fuck
You
off.
just gotta huff the fumes you're running on.
Yeah.
Like that's it. And you know, at the end of the day, our group is really consist of like we're some bullies, so we bully each other. Not for real. Like we're all bullies. Like I'm a
Positive
bully
bully.
kind of like mentality.
I don't bully that
Oh,
much.
like bullies, like
Not
shit,
like
swirlies,
not in
like,
a
what are you
good
doing?
way,
Nah.
but like I'm also like I've been easier as I get older. Like I've been trying to be nicer, but like I really am like the kind of person like I grew up with older brothers and shit. Like everyone like in the world has either they do or they don't.
I was
if
the
you
oldest
if you
brother.
grew up with older brothers, you know the torture it's like to be the little brother if you're the little brother, and you get taught like, yo, you better fucking shape the fuck up, be a man.
And so
Show
for
the
you,
fuck up.
bully in the sense like you're playing football. So when you're in
Yeah.
football, you gotta go hard.
You just smack a motherfucker around. Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, when I used to play, I was a linebacker. So, and I at the time was only like 150 pounds, and I was D1. So, you got to be fast, and you got to just be fucking angry. You know what I mean? You can't, like, you got to like be more on the physics side than like the, just like a brute force kind of, because
Well,
I didn't have the mass.
That's
The
a mentality
mentality is
thing.
really like zero tolerance for bullshit.
So
That's
now,
it.
where do you? So I'm gonna just ask this question because like I just want to know like where do you see your brand going? Where you see your music going, and within like the next 4 to 5 years, do you plan on staying in Boston? Do you plan on doing music festivals? Do you feel like doing like South by Southwest? Like, are you gonna? Where do you see yourself going?
Yeah, actually, too. What upcoming projects do you guys have going on?
So I just dropped Square One in August or July, one of the two. I think it was August, and we have a couple secret tapes in the works, and I'll announce some of them right now. We got first and foremost, we got a bunch of Stevie Cash singles / a tape coming. We slowly got a tape coming along with the Fi shit. We got the Fi tape. So I guess I'll just announce it for the first time.
Okay.
We got
Make it exclusive.
we got the Fi tape.
Okay.
And the Fi tape has been taking us years to make, and that's because we get better and better every fucking couple months and every couple weeks. You know what I mean? It's just like, so we keep kind of changing things and all this shit, but at some point we're going to release the Fi tape, and that's going to be the first of many.
Yeah.
And that's not just going to be myself, Johnny Rick, Stevie Cash, and MC Kim. It's going to be all four of us plus anybody else who we think is our homies and, really want to collaborate. So y'all got the exclusive, the Fi tape.
And so now, where do you see yourself in 5 years?
In 5 years, I will be 32 years old, and I'll probably be trying to do something big at that point too. I don't really know. I can't look too far ahead, and I can't look too far behind, because it stops me from living in the now. But I will say this: if I'm not where I want to be, I'm gonna keep trying to pursue where I want to go. And I would like to be playing festivals. I would like to be getting enough money to pay off debts and pay for fucking, to pay for, a specific kind of like a, like a status kind of, you know what I'm talking about? Like, well, I don't think I'm saying it the right way. I want to have, a freedom.
Yeah.
I don't want to work a fucking day job all day
know
or
that's
two
right.
jobs. You know what I'm saying? I
You
just
sound
want to
like
be
me.
free.
Yes.
I just want to be
Can
free.
We just
Yes.
please?
Yes.
Can
I
someone
just want to be
give us
free.
freedom?
That's all I want to be.
I hear that.
That's all I want to be. Cause y'all know this fucking, and if you don't know, now you know. This day job shit, it's meant to enslave you. It's meant to keep you not doing what you want. It's meant to keep you broke. Social reproduction theory. Look that shit up. It means the poor stay poor. It means the rich stay rich, and the medium stay fucking middle class.
I say a job is a temporary solution to a long-term problem.
That's it. A job ain't gonna, like, a middle class job ain't gonna get you rich unless you have a rich position. That's the difference. Like, and a lot of people try to think, oh, I'm gonna work to that. But me, I've been in corporate business and all this bullshit. I've had a fucking million fucking jobs. You don't get nowhere unless you fucking take it. You don't get nowhere unless you know exactly like what you're trying to achieve, and you do all the proper steps plus a million things more just to get there.
Yeah.
That's That's all it is. I don't want to be working a fucking day job in 5 years.
I hear
I
you.
want to be free.
I can hear the frustration.
Yeah.
Totally,
You feel
I
me?
No,
I'm
I
hungry,
get it.
man.
I totally feel you.
I
on
ate your
that.
food and it was so delicious, but I'm hungry, man. Hungry. Help me.
That's a strong statement.
Yeah.
But is there anything else that you want your the audience to kind of leave off with? Is there any last closing statements that you guys want to say?
I'll say this. I love you. Thank you very much, all who are listening. Thank y'all for having us.
Hell yeah.
It's all love. You know, this is a beautiful space. Shout out to Roxbury. Shout out to Show and Tell. Shout out to Boston. Shout out to Pinehurst. Shout out to Massachusetts.
Yeah.
Shout out to Jinx. Shout out to Mose. Shout out to everybody, man. Shout out to Johnny. We are
Also,
Shout
give
out
us
to
your plugs. Give us your plugs. Where can we
Yo,
find you at? Where can we find you at, bro?
All right. On Instagram, I don't have a Facebook or nothing, but on Instagram, p.h.imbalance. That's the group page. My personal page is ph_DZZZ, 3 Z's. Don't sleep on them. Johnny Rick, Johnny_Rick the real, or is it Johnny Rick _the real?
I don't know.
It's one of the, it's one of those. And then Stevie Cash is at Cash the Prophet, and then MC Kim is MC_Kim_PH, something like that. And yo, shout out to y'all, man. Thank you for everything, man.
Hell yeah.
And thank you guys for having me on as a guest host. I think this is our second
time.
collaboration. So thank you guys for having me on to host
Plug yourself.
this. And my name is Cordelia Moy, and you can find me on YouTube as Who's That Girl from Roxbury. And I think on Twitter I am Roxbury Who Won. So you can follow me, and hopefully this episode will do very well. The last one did pretty good. Pretty good.
Show and Tell Boston After Dark. It's been a great conversation, and we'll see you guys next time.
Deuces.